because of everything I've been through and getting me back healthy and to the place that I am. But you know, you can't do anything without your teammates.
Carrington has to be a little bit smarter here, right? You just want to contest. Oh, that's definitely well within the time.
Caitlin Clark have success doing this a few times here early in the WNBA.
Imagine scoring the winning basket in front of a sellout crowd, only to find out your family couldn't watch it on TV. That's what happened to WNBA star DiJonai Carrington. Now she's speaking out. While fans celebrated inside TD Garden, a glaring oversight threatened to overshadow the milestone event. DiJonai Carrington, the Connecticut Sun guard known for her fierce competitiveness, couldn't shake the feeling that a massive opportunity had been missed. As she took in the electric atmosphere, a troubling realization hit her. This historic game wasn't reaching the audience it deserved. Carrington took to social media to express her frustration, calling out the WNBA for a major misstep. "The game should have been on the national television broadcast," she wrote, her words cutting through the excitement of the sellout crowd. "You shouldn't have to pay for any type of subscription to see a game that's this historic, in my opinion." Her statement hit like a thunderbolt, exposing a glaring gap in the league's promotion strategy. Here was a game that had sold out the TD Garden, a first for the WNBA in Boston, yet it wasn't accessible to a national audience through traditional TV channels. Carrington's critique highlighted a missed opportunity for the league to showcase its growing popularity and attract new fans. The significance of Carrington's call-out went beyond just one game. It shed light on a broader issue in women's sports, the struggle for visibility and equal media coverage. By pointing out the lack of national TV coverage for such a momentous event, she was effectively challenging the status quo and demanding better for her sport. What made Carrington's criticism even more pointed was the timing of the game's announcement.
We stayed disciplined, we stuck to the scouting report, all of our coaches did an amazing job, and we just played so hard for each other. I'm so proud of everyone on our team. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just being in shape and having effort and the will to work. Defense isn't easy, but it is if you put in effort.
Connecticut had revealed plans for this historic matchup almost a year in advance. In Carrington's view, this should have provided ample time for the WNBA to secure proper TV coverage and promote the event effectively. The fact that it hadn't happened despite such long-term planning only added fuel to her frustration. Carrington's post quickly gained traction, sparking a conversation about media coverage in women's sports that extended far beyond the confines of TD Garden. Fans, fellow athletes, and sports commentators chimed in, many echoing her sentiments and calling for change. The dialogue that ensued brought attention to the ongoing challenges faced by women's sports in securing mainstream media coverage and the impact this has on their growth and popularity. The controversy highlighted a critical juncture for the WNBA. On one hand, the league was experiencing unprecedented growth, with sellout crowds like the one in Boston becoming more common. On the other hand, Carrington's critique exposed the gaps that still existed in promoting and broadcasting these events to a wider audience. As the debate unfolded online, it became clear that Carrington had tapped into a sentiment shared by many in the women's sports community. The desire for greater visibility and recognition was palpable, and her words served as a rallying cry for those who believed that women's sports deserved equal treatment in the media landscape. Carrington's bold stand shone a spotlight on a puzzling paradox in women's basketball. How could a team with a stellar 27 record still feel historically disrespected?
Looks like Dallas is tired. Carrington uses the fade. Gray bought it. 6 points for Carrington, all in this third quarter.
To the Mabry, a little extra stuff. And a technical.
Discipline, just 2 personal fouls here through 3 quarters. DiJonai has taken a new step.
The answer might reveal a troubling pattern in the WNBA's promotion strategy. The Connecticut Sun's impressive performance this season placed them among the top teams in the league. With 20 wins and only 7 losses, they've proven themselves as formidable contenders on the court. Yet, despite their success, Carrington's comments suggest a disconnect between the team's achievements and the recognition they receive. This disparity between performance and perception isn't just about one player's frustration. It points to a larger issue within the WNBA and women's sports as a whole. The Suns' strong record should have made them a prime candidate for national television coverage, especially for a historic game like the one at TD Garden. Instead, they found themselves playing to a sold-out crowd with limited visibility beyond the arena walls. Carrington's critique brings to light the ongoing struggle for equal media coverage in women's sports. While the WNBA has made significant strides in recent years, with growing attendance and increasing fan engagement, the lack of national broadcast for such a milestone event suggests there's still a long way to go.
So yeah, we're definitely looking to rebound off of our last game. It's a different matchup than the last game.
DiJonai Carrington off the bench with the energy, packing the power off of the bounce. Tough finish, beats the buzzer.
The incident at TD Garden isn't an isolated case. It's a symptom of a broader problem that plagues women's athletics across various sports. Despite the talent, dedication, and impressive performances of female athletes, they often find themselves fighting for airtime and media attention that their male counterparts receive as a matter of course. This lack of visibility creates a vicious cycle. Without proper media coverage, it's challenging for teams like the Connecticut Sun to build a wider fan base and attract sponsors. This, in turn, can impact the resources available to the team and the league as a whole, potentially affecting player salaries, training facilities, and overall growth of the sport. Carrington's outspoken criticism serves as a rallying cry for change. It highlights the need for a more equitable approach to sports coverage, one that recognizes and promotes excellence regardless of gender. The Suns' 20-7 record is a testament to their skill and hard work, deserving of celebration and national attention. The WNBA finds itself at a crucial juncture. As the league continues to grow and attract more fans, it must address these issues of visibility and recognition.
DiJonai Carrington out on the break, and once she checked in ice, giving the Sun.
And then transition, get into more of a flow action or a secondary action.
The sold-out TD Garden game demonstrates the appetite for women's basketball. Now, the challenge lies in translating that local enthusiasm into national coverage and broader support. This situation also raises questions about the criteria used to determine which games receive national broadcast slots. If a team's performance isn't the deciding factor, what is? And how can the league ensure that all its top-performing teams get the spotlight they deserve? As the final buzzer sounded at TD Garden, a question lingered in the air. How many fans missed this thrilling moment? The game's outcome paints a vivid picture of what happens when a league's biggest moments unfold in the shadows. The Connecticut Sun clinched a hard-fought victory against the Los Angeles Sparks with a final score of 69-61. It was a competitive matchup that showcased the skill and determination of both teams. The Suns' win further solidified their impressive 27 record, proving they're a force to be reckoned with in the WNBA. But while 19,125 fans cheered from the stands, countless others were left in the dark. The lack of national television coverage meant that fans across the country had to jump through hoops to catch the action.
Satu got one called also. They got the foul and then both got technicals.
The number 6 team in the country, right? So we know they're gonna make the run, they're gonna score, but we knew we just had to combat it, and we did that.
Those without a WNBA League Pass subscription or access to the live stream on X were completely shut out from experiencing this historic game. The irony was palpable. Here was a game that had sold out the TD Garden, a first for the WNBA in Boston. The atmosphere was electric, the competition fierce, and the stakes high. Yet this momentous occasion was hidden from view for many potential fans and supporters of women's basketball. For those lucky enough to be in attendance, the game was a spectacle to remember. The roar of the crowd, the squeaking of sneakers on the court, and the swish of the net all contributed to an unforgettable experience. But for fans relying on national coverage to follow their favorite teams and players, the silence was deafening. This disconnect between the on-court action and media coverage highlights a significant challenge for the WNBA. As the league continues to grow in popularity and attract sellout crowds, the need for accessible, widespread coverage becomes even more critical. The TD Garden game wasn't just a missed opportunity for fans, it was a missed chance for the league to showcase its product to a national audience. The impact of this oversight extends beyond just one game. For a league striving to expand its fan base and increase its visibility, every nationally televised game is an opportunity to attract new viewers and cement the loyalty of existing fans.
You know, I just got to make sure I keep my window so I can still give us some on offense, but it's just focus.
Thank you, DiJonai.
Yeah, no problem.
When these opportunities are missed, it's not just the fans who lose out, it's the entire sport. Consider the potential new fans who might have stumbled upon the game while channel surfing, or the young aspiring athletes who could have been inspired by seeing professional women's basketball on a major network. These missed connections can have long-lasting effects on the growth and sustainability of the sport. The contrast between the packed arena and the limited broadcast availability underscores a larger issue in women's sports. Despite the clear demand for high-level women's basketball, as evidenced by the sellout crowd, the media landscape hasn't quite caught up. This disparity between fan interest and media coverage is a hurdle that the WNBA and women's sports in general continue to face.